Well, today I'm going to be working on one of these. Never thought I'd say old. Can't believe this thing still works. Anyway, they lost that sets the blades, so I'm having to make my own. This is one of the units that has a spring under it, and what there was a little gauge that sat here, and then you'd spin this thing around and then it'd set the height. But since that one is missing, to find out what the height is going to be as far as setting those blades, now I can't use plastic because it bends too easy, so got a piece of aluminum. Gonna drill a couple of holes in here on each side so we can hold the blade up to the proper height. Well, first thing I've got to do is I've got to flatten the surface so we can get a drill bit straight through there. Well, the nice thing about this blade adjustment thing now is that you can use it on any of these planers. Now, one thing to remember, some of these planers, they have little small springs in there, which I'll show you here in a minute. And don't leave the blades out and turn this thing, because then you'll lose your springs. So the best thing to do is either take the springs out or leave your blade in and turn it. Okay, right side is hitting. Okay, just barely touching. So we're going to back it up a 1/8 of a turn so we can use the blade adjustment for that height. And we'll do the same thing with this other side now. Still just barely touching, as you can see. Okay, now it's clear. Give it a 1/4 of a turn. And I do need to get some lock nuts on here so this thing won't turn, but oh, this thing is really rusty. I don't know where this thing's been. There's that little small spring down in there. There's one there, and there's one on this other side. So since you've got that blade out, don't turn this thing or you're going to lose them. We want to paint this edge, so okay, I'm using 150 grit belt sanding paper. The higher the grit, the better sharpened your blade's going to be. Tell that the belt sander is running on top, so we need to put a little more angle to it. And that's what we want right there. Now, as you can guess, this is not as what you would get back from a person that's going to charge you $50 or $20, whatever, a blade. This is just going to get you by until you got time to take them out and send them out. You want to make sure nothing is close to the edge. Put me a couple of wing nuts on there and washers, so once I get this thing set I can tighten it down, don't have to worry about it moving. Alright. Okay, I got them snugged up. Well, we're ready to plug this thing in and see if it even works. Of course, I got to put the guard on it. Always double check all your bolts. You don't want one of these things flying out, because it will sure tear up everything. Alright, we're going to fire this thing up and try it. pretty much works like a charm.